Hello and welcome to Where's Beverly, a Star Trek podcast. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Adrienne, and today we're doing a special live edition of Where's Beverly, where we discuss which Star Trek character would come to your Halloween party and how would they dress. So, Sophia, you're dressed really fun this evening. Would you like to tell the people what your costume is?
I'm Catherine Janeway's Hopes and Dreams. What about you, Adrienne? What are you dressed as?
I'm sorry, I have a question about Catherine Janeway's Hopes and Dreams.
Yes.
Where did you get this idea, and how long did it take you to come up with it?
My brain and 3 seconds.
Excellent. And what would you say is the primary hope and dream that you're embodying?
Well, I'm embodying death because her hopes and dreams are dead. And I think her main hope and dream is, like, not only the D, but it's one of them. But I think her other hope and dream, aside from the D, is just to, like, have a day. Just, like, have, like, a singular day where she isn't, like, turned into a lizard or, like, dumb people ask her dumb stuff. Like, just having a day.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Adrienne? What are you dressed as?
So, I am Final Girl, Deanna Troy, complete with comm badge and pips. So I am Deanna Troy after she has survived the slasher movie of TNG seasons 1 through 5 and the disaster that was her wardrobe, and she finally got to wear a uniform.
So, same question you asked me. How long, where'd you come up with this, and how long did it take you to come up with this?
So this morning I was working on some stuff. I was editing some podcasts, and I thought we should record a video version of this episode, and we should wear costumes. I'm going to be dead Deanna Troy. Nope. I'm going to be Final Girl Deanna Troy. I have all that leftover blood from last year.
I think that, like, we need to put this out there. We need to say that, like, you came up with this idea, like, what, 8 hours ago? and here we are, like, recording this evening. Yeah, you, like, messaged me either right before I went to work or while I was at work, being like, we're doing this tonight, so
come home early, bitch.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've had this idea for this episode for a while on which Star Trek character would come to your Halloween party and how they dress. So would you like to start us off?
Oh, yes. First, I want to take this off. I lasted a full, like, 2 minutes with something on my head, and I'm really proud of myself.
I am so proud of you, Sophie.
Before, like a cat, I had to take it out.
Okay, quick question. You have the headphones on, though, and those are okay?
Yeah, but those are headphones. They're hugging my ears.
Okay, yeah, that tracks. Yeah. Okay, so who is your first contestant in this special Halloween edition of Fantasy Football?
So, my first contestant, she senses that you're full of shit. It's Deanna Troy.
So what does she wear to your costume to your Halloween party?
Well, of course she accepts. Of course she's like, I am down. I'm down to go to this Halloween party. She brings some fun snacks. She also brings gluten-free snacks because she's, like, just a really nice person. She's not gluten-free. She just wants to make sure that everyone's happy. She brings a vegan option too, like a vegan dip that doesn't suck. And that's not hummus. And she comes dressed as Beverly Crusher.
Okay. Say more, like which Beverly Crusher? Like season 1 Beverly Crusher, a bad wig Beverly Crusher, Sub Rosa?
She brings 3 different costumes and circulates them through the night. So we got aerobics Bev, we got the long goodbye Bev, and then just like long coat hiding Gates McFadden's pregnancy in season 4 Bev. And she rotates them throughout the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Look me in my skull eyes and tell me that I am wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. I think in my mind I have a little bit of a different take. I agree with you on all the snacks. Like she comes to the party, she accepts, early, she brings snacks, she brings a gluten-free option, she brings a vegan option, she brings an option that's just like fat on top of fat on top of fat on top of fat because she's thoughtful like that. I actually think that that Deanna Troy comes to your Halloween party dressed as herself in First Contact talking to Zephram Cochrane. And she goes around the party. She's the hit of the party doing the bit from that. Now is not the time to talk about time. We haven't the time. So that's kind of what I think.
The best scene in Star Trek history.
It really is. When I saw that in theaters, I laughed out loud and no one else laughed. And like, what the hell? How is that not like the funniest thing you've ever seen?
It is. Objectively, it's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
So who is your first contestant, Adrian?
Okay, so my first contestant, I have a couple of couples here coming to my party. So my first contestants they will throw a teapot when they find out you haven't had lunch, but then they'll make you a lovely spread anyway. It's Laris and Zubon. And so I think that Laris and Zubon, they RSVP, but they RSVP like right at the last minute. Like they get it in, but like right under the line because they're not really sure what the point is. Also, secrecy and shit. So they don't really want people to know where they're going to be on a certain date, but they decide for, politeness sake to go ahead and get that RSVP in. So in terms of costuming, they also bring a chicote board, like a very big one. And so someone suggested they didn't know what to do because they'd never been to a Halloween party before. Someone suggested that they go as like a classic fairy tale couple, and they agree. Zubon just knows that Laris is going to come as a queen, and he's like down for it. She knows he's going to come as the king. The problem with assumptions is, well, But he shows up as the donkey in the fairy tale because he loves animals. And she shows up as a fire-breathing dragon because he always tells her how feisty and spicy she is. So basically they show up as the donkey and dragon from Shrek. But they have no idea like what this is. And the third time someone points it out to them and says donkey and dragon from Shrek, Zubon has to hold her arms down to keep her from punching the person that says this. So that's like my take on Laris and Zubon. What about
coming
you?
To season 3 of Picard?
Shrek.
It's so accurate. It's so accurate. So I say that they are actually very upset that you're throwing a Halloween party because don't you know that their Halloween party is the place to be? And they're like really, really salty. And by they, I mean Laris is like, we made like cute little deviled eggs with little like eyes on them. Why are you like cockblocking us? But they go and they make a very quick appearance because their Halloween party isn't really like a costume party. It's more of just like aesthetic. Like they wear an... Okay, I stand by that axe throwing is a thing, and it's not just something that we made up. So Adrian and I and our friend Julia have recently returned from a girls' trip, and when we were thinking of things to do, I suggested axe throwing because...
As you do.
Because it's a super popular thing. Like, I drive by an axe throwing place like on my way to work. Like it's so common. And these effers look at me like I'm suggesting going to the moon. Like, it's so common, and I stand by that.
I believe you. I just don't know why y'all didn't think that my idea to go burn down a barn was a good idea. I mean, that's also super common where I come from.
We could have done both. We could have done both.
It's not. Nobody burns down barns where I'm from. I don't know why I said that. I think I'm nervous because we're recording a video.
It's okay. I noticed that I think our intro is definitely going to be cut off because it was saying the recording is starting. I'm like, that means it started. And then it's like, now you're recording. And I was like, ooh. So welcome to Beverly.
Welcome to Beverly. We haven't done this before podcast. Okay, so I actually think I agree with you. Also, even though I think I like my idea better, I like that they are upset that you're not coming to their party.
But they're gonna go. They're gonna make an appearance because, like, their party is not costume themed. It's more aesthetic. Like, you make candles if you want to. There's the Corpse Bride playing in the background because it's superior to the Nightmare Before Christmas. And I will fight anybody on this. The Corpse Bride is a beautiful tale of death acceptance and positivity for children. And, like, Chris Sarandon singing on a hill. That's Nightmare Before Christmas. It's okay. But I digress. So, they've never really dressed up for Halloween before, and they're like, what is like a typical, like, what do the couples do for Halloween? So they do a space Google search, a 24th century equivalent of Google search, and they come as a plug-in socket from Party City. You know those like couple costumes? Yeah, where like the girl is the outlet, is like the power outlet, and then the dude is the plug with the two prongs, and it's like ha ha ha. Google it. Google it.
Like right
it's
now?
A thing. Get your phone in your little hand.
I believe you. So
Google plug-in socket. I need you to have the visual that I'm having of Zubon as a plug.
Couples costume. This seems like weirdly sexual.
Yes, it is. That's the point.
Okay, that's weird and also a little cute. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm gonna click away now.
The fact that it's sexual is lost on Zubon. It's not on Laris.
Yeah, they end that party early that night. Yeah, so who is your next contestant?
To quote Kermit the Frog, moving right along.
We don't have time to unpack any of that.
She can only sense that she's effing cold. It's Deanna Troy, but she's a frog now.
Wait, I love how so far are all your contestants Deanna Troy? I haven't. Wait.
No, only 2 of them.
Okay. Okay, so
you put boundaries.
Tell me about Deanna Troy as a frog.
So she tries to persuade you to move the party to her little frog hot tub. But she, like, Beverly Crusher makes her, like, you know, like, I don't know, some sensor, some 24th century medical BS, where she can be a little bit warmer, like she has heat packs or something. And to repay her, she dresses as Beverly Crusher, but slightly damp.
Which Beverly Crusher does she dress as?
Again, all 3, but all of them are damp.
You asshole.
Fantasy football are my favorite episodes because I just get to say whatever I want.
I am so glad that we're friends.
We are 2 adult women with jobs, and we're sitting here. You have blood on your face. I went to the dollar store after work and got face paint. We have careers.
And like maintain like healthy relationships with people. Like it's but it's it's not 1 a.m. I'm not covered in blood and like hella 90s eye makeup. Like this is normal, right? Everyone does this, right?
This is normal. I'm gonna get Domino's after this, and I might not take this off to greet the person at the door.
Please don't. Last year I did just a final girl for Halloween. And I was doing like a test run and I ordered McDonald's because I was hungry. And when the delivery guy came, I had this like really like brief moment where I was like, shit. And so I opened the door and he like goes like this and then he just looked at me. And I think he actually genuinely was concerned for a minute. And then he just started to laugh and he handed me the food. So he got me on a soul level.
Oh, I'll never forget when I was in college. There was like this huge thing that got started because one of the kids from the theater program, they were doing a lecture on makeup, on like theatrical makeup, and they got to practice like blood and wounds on each other. And this kid walks home in broad daylight with all of this blood and wound makeup and got stopped by the cops and had to explain himself. And like after that, it's like, so please wash your effing face before walking home.
Yeah. And I mean, I think like up close, I think it's pretty obvious that things are fake. However, from a distance, I don't really know that you can really tell. And if you're a police officer or a paramedic or something, like maybe you shouldn't like assume that it's not real. But yeah. But I'm quite happy with my blood because it's dark. Like it looks dark enough to me that it looks more real.
It looks very, very good. And I love, like you said, it's 1 a.m. where you are right now. And like, this is the thing to do at 1 a.m.
Clearly is. And I just want to say, like, you know, if you're someone that liked painting when you were a kid, but you're really shit at it, like 10 of 10 can recommend. I put it on my fingers and just went, and it was really just an enjoyable experience.
You almost have a contour with the blood, which is like what, right? That's when I was in college, I was in a production of Les Mis, as one does, and I was, you know this, and I was the vocal ensemble, which means that I still was ensemble, but I got the harmonies. And we were doing the what's the We're Poor song at the end of the day, and we had to have fake dirt, and all of us just contoured with that dirt. Like we all just had the contours here. Grungy. Nobody said anything. Well, I got a corset. Like I got to stand on a chair for lovely ladies, which was like.
Did you fall off the chair?
So knowing me, that's a very reasonable question to ask. I have broken several bones, but no. I did drop a tea light and almost set the stage on fire, but I did it.
You were a pioneer of your time, Sophia, because Rebecca, the German stage musical, They Light a Staircase on Fire, had not been invented yet. And so you were just like prophesying. You know, you were channeling all that, you know, before it happened.
That was my audition tape for Mrs. Danvers. It was just tea light.
So whose turn is it?
So how would Deanna Troi but a frog show up to your
I was hoping I would get out of this one. I don't know.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, so Deanna Troi but a frog is going to show up to my Halloween party as okay, so amphibians. So she doesn't really want to be herself, but she also wants to be comfortable. So she shows up as Paris and Janeway's firstborn child. So she does a little bit of makeup, she does a little bit of contouring, but you know, it works. Like her skin tone's the right color, like she's got this slimy thing happening. People don't ask questions when she keeps misting herself with water. Like it works.
All I can picture is Tom Paris in the background going, "That's my boy!"
Yeah.
So who's your next contestant, Adrian?
So my next contestant, the forever captain of our hearts and definitely not a ghost, Harry Kim. So I don't have a lot to say about Harry Kim. He comes on time. He brings cookies. It's a recipe that his mom always made, when he was growing up. He tried to bring a date, but people wanted to come, but they couldn't. They were unavailable. But his costume, so Ensign Harry Kim comes as a lieutenant, and he's voted the most unbelievable costume of the night.
Too soon! It's been 30 years and it's too soon! You bastard!
Yeah, but how do you think Harry Kim would come to your party?
So, right off the bat, he wanted to do a couple's costume with Tom Paris, and Tom Paris is like, I have a wife, so no. And not because he wanted, but because B'Elanna made him, and he was like, aw, wah. So, in kind of protest of that, but also because he's fun. So of course, obviously he brings popcorn. He also brings cute those little spider ring favors because why not? But he dresses as Queen Arachnia.
Yes. But what who wore it better? Janeway or Harry Kim?
There are no losers, only winners.
If you come as Queen Arachnia, you just automatically win, right?
There's no such thing as a bad Queen Arachnia costume. Because I have to assume that they still have that costume, because she had to, it wasn't a holographic costume, so he just kind of borrowed it, and she definitely would be like, yes, here you go.
So they're both a size 4. And there were no alterations needed, or did he have to have it altered?
I think that he is Dorito shaped, and that's probably a woman's 4.
What is Dorito shape?
That was okay. That was a whole thing in Tumblr of 2011. So when a man's torso is shaped like a Dorito, so you have arms, pecs, and then torso Dorito. Triangle.
Arms.
Okay. Built, and then snatched at the waist.
I don't like that word. However, okay.
I don't know what it means. I've just heard Julia say it a lot.
So an upside down triangle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I know what that is.
Pointing downwards.
So a Dorito-shaped man is a woman's size 4.
Is a woman's size 4.
Automatically.
Yes.
So who's your next contestant?
I can only hope that he's seen a cat at this point. It's Elnor.
Oh, Elnor.
So, first off, Elnor is super jazzed to be going to this Halloween party because, don't worry, Laris and Saban took him aside and was like, it's not lying when you put on a costume. You can tell people that you're still Elnor, but you're wearing a costume. And he was like, this is all I've ever asked for. Why haven't you told me about this sooner? So, Laris and Saban take him to a party city, and he sits in the child seat of the cart, and they go and they he's not allowed to touch anything. You can just point and they'll take it off for him. And he goes, and he goes to pick out a costume, and he gets to pick out a snack, but just one to bring to the party, because he'll bring his own snacks, because I can only assume that Elnor has a lot. He seems like somebody who has a lot of food sensory issues, so he's just eating his plain unsalted popcorn and loving life. But he shows up. He only understood the assignment a little bit, and he shows up as Orlando Bloom. Not Orlando Bloom in Lord of the Rings.
Stop.
Orlando Bloom. No further questions, Your Honor.
The Orlando Bloom that's currently married to Katy Perry. Just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He's an elf, and then dresses only as Orlando Bloom. So a nice sensible button up.
Is Orlando Bloom not an elf in real life?
We
don't know.
So Elnor is not sure.
As also am I not.
So what about you?
Okay, so Elnor is like my number one party guest. So I'm so excited that he's gonna come because he just brings like joy and just genuineness, authenticity to everything that he does. So I'm super excited that he's gonna come. I'm so glad that he's been taken aside by Laris and Savon and they've sort of explained what Halloween is to him. The problem is they didn't really explain it correctly because they don't know. So he comes to the party. He is not really sure what we're celebrating. So he sort of thinks it might be a funeral, but that's like a fun, like a wake. Okay. So he comes, but he also like gets the costume part. So he shows up dressed as like Picard, but like in all black. And it's just kind of weird, but he's really cute and you can't help but love him. And I don't think that he has food sensory issues. I think he gets there and he gets to the buffet section and there's a candy buffet and he's like this, and so he thinks it's all for him and he doesn't understand the concept of like coming back for more, so he keeps filling up bags with like gummy candy and he's like stuffing his pockets, and as he's walking around, bags of gummy candies like falling out of his pockets, and by the end of the night he has a tummy ache. But it's also the best time he's ever had, and can he come back next year?
Yes. Yes. Again, season 3 of Picard. I know it's already filmed, but do it. Do a Halloween episode.
Like, and just make it Elnor centric, please.
Short tracks. Short tracks. Short tracks.
I want short tracks with Elnor, but but then they're like, oh, we should just do a bunch of short tracks with Elnor.
We will write it. Paramount, hire us, pay us in advance copies of Picard season 3.
We don't want new casting. We want Evan Evagora. We would even take it as like an audio drama. Wait, no, you hate those. So no, we want it to be a show.
I don't want people acting with just their voice. I don't like it. So I need to see your face. No. Ghosts. No, thank you.
You don't like animation.
I like claymation. And Babar.
That is worse. You like claymation, but not
and
like
Babar.
Disney. What's Babar?
Do you not know Babar? Babar! No?
Okay, wait. Sounds like a sketchy French thing.
So it fully is, but it's also my childhood. Okay, wait. Can I? Babar! It's an animated children's show, and can I? Oh, you can't. Wait. He's a little elephant king!
Oh, I've seen that before. I've seen the picture of it before, but I've never seen the show.
So, he is a little elephant king, and his wife is named Celeste, which is the best name ever. Yeah. And they have kids whose names I forget. And then there's just a random old lady that's chilling with these elephants, and she's like the same size as them, but we don't really have time to unpack all that. And there was a movie in like the 80s, and it has the catchiest song that I'm going to make you listen to after we're done recording this. But, you unpack this can of worms. Also, you're friends with me. You signed up for this.
I knew what I was getting into.
But like, wheresbeverly@gmail.com. Does Babar slap? Yes, it does. I love Babar so much. Where were we? Babar? Yes.
You like Babar and you like claymation.
Yep.
And you also apparently like The Corpse Bride, so I don't know.
It is a tale of death acceptance.
Oh, no, I didn't say it was not good. You just said that you didn't like animation, and then you are like backtracking on.
Well, I don't like animation.
5 types of animation that you do like.
Well, I don't. So I don't like animation in terms of like I never choose animation unless it's about death. However. But also, my least favorite thing is animation instead of, like, where it's like, oh, we're gonna, like, animate this instead of, like, getting everyone together and filming it. No. Either don't do it or give me live action.
So how do you feel about Prodigy?
So I watched it because Gates McFadden was in it, but I watched a episode. And I know I've gone on record on this podcast being like, and I'm gonna watch it. I will not.
Okay. You can change your mind.
I will not.
That's okay. I
don't
watched...
like animated facial expressions.
Well,
I can't explain it, but ghosts. A ghost made these facial expressions.
I think the next time you enter into therapy, you should discuss your obsession with this is what a ghost does. Like, I don't understand it. You're obsessed with it. And for someone that's so death positive, you seem to be really like ghost phobic. Like, oh, this is how a ghost brushes their hair. This is how a ghost makes a face. I'm sorry. Have you seen a ghost make a face like that? Have you seen a ghost brush their hair like that? Or are you just making assumptions?
And so here's the thing. If I see a ghost doing any of these things, I'm gonna yeet myself. I'm gonna astral project into the ether. I live my life. I don't necessarily believe in ghosts, but I live my life so that if ghosts are real, I don't piss them off. And I think that that's a really good way to, just live your life.
Yeah.
But also, Beverly Crusher brushes her hair like a ghost.
Do we ever see Beverly Crusher brush her hair?
Cause and effect. She brushes her hair. And it's very ghost-like.
Okay, that one tracks because okay,
Thank you.
I'm thinking about it. She's like not really touching her hair, as if the brush or her hair doesn't really have like corporeal form and it's just going to go through it. So in this very specific instance of you saying this is what a ghost does, I think I agree with you. But this is the only time. It's never going to happen again. Put it in the books.
It is 7:03 p.m. EST. Adrian admitted that Beverly Crusher brushes her hair like a ghost. I want to buy the domain name Beverly Crusher brushes her hair like a ghost.com. And it's just gonna flash in big letters. Sophia was right.
I was hoping you were gonna say this is our new podcast website coming soon.
Beverly Crusher brushes. Welcome to Where's Beverly? Visit us at Beverly Crusher brushes her hair like a ghost.com.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh, so where were we?
Elnor. So is it my turn?
Yes. It's your turn now.
Okay. So my next contestants, because remember I have some couples, they are everyone's favorite murder soccer moms. It's Seven and Rafi. Yay! So to borrow a phrase from you right off the bat, Seven and Rafi do not want to come to your party. It's not that they don't like you, they just don't want to come to your party. They don't want to come to anyone's party. They don't want to throw a party. They don't want to like walk past a party. They're just homebodies, right? They would just rather sit at home and like watch a nice documentary or like lightly argue about something like what a parsnip is. That just seems like something they would do. However,
wow, yes.
They did.
How does that track?
They did get invited to your Halloween party and like they're nice people, right? So they feel like they need to go because in this scenario, I feel like you're coworkers and you've been working together for a long time. And like Seven has something in the back of her mind that the doctor said once about how sometimes we have to do nice things for people that we care about that we don't really want to do because that's part of being like, a nice person. So she's like, come on, Raph, let's go. And so Rafi's like, oh, I don't want to go. What's the invitation say or whatever? And so Seven says, well, it's a costume party. And then Rafi gets like oddly quiet. And then she gets oddly excited because Rafi likes costumes. So Rafi proposes that they do a couple's costume. and she knows exactly what they're going to do. They're both huge fans of the entire Back to the Future series, so naturally, Raffi is going to dress as a flux capacitor, and Seven is going to dress as the DeLorean, and like the flux capacitor goes in the DeLorean, and that's how they can travel back in time. So they're super, super stoked about this. They laugh about it for like hours. They like get their costumes together. They like argue a lot about it. They switch back and forth a couple of times, like maybe Seven's going to be the flux capacitor, but then maybe that's like anti-Borg or something. So she's going to be the car, and then Raffi's going to be like the part that goes in the car. Anyway, so it's a long story, but they finally decide, and they're really excited about it. They think it's really funny. They think it's really hilarious. They get to the party. Nobody knows what they're dressed as. But it's not sad because they don't know that no one knows what they're dressed as. So they don't even notice because they're having such a good time, actually. But they forgot to bring food, but it's okay. Nobody really like thought they would come at all. So they're just happy they're there. So that's my take on Seven and Raffi. How do you think, they would come to your party?
So I think that Raffi is like, we're doing this. We're doing a couple's costume. This is our first Halloween as a couple. Like, I love you and respect your boundaries, but also let's be cute. And Seven is like, cool, no, like, absolutely not. 0%, 0 out of 10 would not recommend. And like, so the entire time Raffi's like, okay, like, I'll go along, but it would be cute. And she's like picking out her own costume, being like, wait, what jumped into the Party City bag? A cute little like headband that you could just put on your head and come with me? And like she's like, no, thank you. So like Raffi finds like, a Party City like starlet costume or something, and she wears her cute dress that she wore in season 2 of Picard, and like a cute
that you hated, but that is gorgeous.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I thought that she got the short end of the stick and got the ugliest dress. However, it would be cute for a starlet costume. And is wearing a boa and like cute like sunglasses. And Seven is looking at her and not understanding. And she's like, is it Halloween? Like, you're supposed to dress as something. She's like, I'm a starlet. She's like, what starlet? Name it. Like, tell me what you're dressed as. She's like, a starlet. It's like, the concept of a starlet? I don't understand. Like, and Seven is like so frustrated. And like, while she's frustrated, Raffi just goes over and puts little cat ears on her and just goes, sexy cat. And just starts like casually just going, sexy cat. Sexy cat. And so that's how Raffi and Seven end up ringing your doorbell. Raffi in full starlet attire with a bunch of bags of chips, and Seven in the background wearing just cat ears going,
no.
But Seven, there's, for some reason, A Walk to Remember is playing. Like, it's a Halloween party, but you're putting on A Walk to Remember because, regardless of the season, it's a great film. And she's sitting on the couch being like, this is highly inaccurate, and she's loving it.
Yeah. Loves every minute. I really think not that she chose the costume for herself, but her dressing as a cat, spot on accuracy. Yeah. Excellent. I also like Raffi being really excited about it. I also think that I could see that. So, who's your next contestant?
So my next contestant, and they lived happily ever after. I don't know what you're talking about. It's Jadzia, Dax, and Worf.
Endgame. I know she dies. I mean, it's been like 30 years. Like, spoilers don't exist, nor should they, after this amount of time. Okay, but no, she didn't die. They lived happily ever after. Tell me about how they would come to your Halloween party.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like her last episode was the worst, like, baity thing that I've ever seen. Berman, wheresbeverly@gmail.com. Explain yourself. Let's do a seance to contact Rick Berman, who's definitely alive, at the time of this recording.
He is not invited to our Halloween party.
But email us. But please don't. There's just gonna be a cease and desist from Rick Berman.
We have several like in the works, I think. Like we definitely have one from him, definitely one from the lady that runs Brownies. Probably.
I welcome the cease and desist for the lady who runs Brownies because can't she prove to us that she's not Elizabeth Bathory?
She can't. I also think it's only a matter of time before we get a cease and desist from whoever wrote Eternal Law, being like, guys.
They know what they did. They know
funny.
what they did. I'm assuming whatever man wrote it, because definitely a man wrote that. I'm assuming his wife like is looking over and be like, it's not worth it. They're right.
Yeah, they're right.
And now I'm just realizing now that I haven't put one of my characters dressing up as Rolla Brady's character in Eternal Law, and like missed opportunity. Did you have one here? I'll find out, I guess.
Please continue.
So, right off the bat, obviously, the queen of the party people, Jadzia Dax, is like, Halloween party. She offers to help you plan it. All of her suggestions, like she starts asking you in April. She's like, she's willing to like shell out some like a lot of latinum to do this, like fog machines. There's a lot of talk about fog machines and the amount of times that you have to be like, it's just like a fun get together with costumes. Like take it down like at least 20%. She's like, fine. So she starts trying to convince Worf by like mid-May, being like, October 31st, check your calendars, no negotiations, you're coming with me, it's gonna be cute. And like, Worf is cute when he's with Jadzia, and like by like August, he's like, fine, but I get to pick the costume. She's like, valid, because I've orchestrated everything else. So they show up to your party dressed as mustard and ketchup.
Wait, Worf picked a costume?
Because he didn't know what would go with a bottle of prune juice, so he picked the next thing and it was mustard and ketchup. What do you think, Adrian?
I don't know that I could. I don't know that I can add on to that. I know nothing about Jadzia except for what you told me. So,
And I've told you that she's badass and she's alive.
Yes, and that you have told me that she's a very like intense, fun person.
Once described as the horniest Star Trek character.
I think you also, so true. I think you also described her as like a very weird person, but like in a lovely way. So I think that she shows up to your party a full day early and says, "This is my party now. I was concerned when I saw the invitations that you weren't taking it seriously enough." So she just completely takes over like your whole party, and then it's Dax's party now. And Worf doesn't think that he has to go, but he definitely does. He finally shows up to what is now her party, dressed as a batleth. Like you know those banana costumes, but it's a batleth. And
does that exist? Because if not, patent it.
It should. It very much should. I'm just gonna check my cat real quick.
I was gonna say, I see a Sansa sighting.
Do you see her?
I saw her walk behind you.
Oh,
come here.
She's like
hello.
Spider catting like along the bottom of the couch right now. You know where they go.
Spider cat. Come say hi. Hello.
Yeah. No, she says no.
She's like, no.
She says no.
She's like, this shit lame.
It's very lame. So he comes as a batleth, dressed as like a banana shaped batleth. And I don't know anything really about, Jadzia Dax, but I feel like she's the type of individual that would be like, I'm dressing as Cleopatra. Like, she seems like she would just go all out. So I think she would dress as Cleopatra, and a good time would be had by all. However, the morning after, at least 80% of the partygoers do have food poisoning.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's my take.
Before we do our next contestant, I'm gonna go fix my nose because it's real itchy.
Okay.
See you in a few. So we're back. I have fixed my nose and eaten 7 jelly beans. So, Adrian, who is your next contestant or contestants?
Oh, so I have another couple of contestants who are also a couple. Maybe not. So do they hate each other now, or are they about to get it on in a hotel room? We'll never know, because it's Chakotay and Janeway in the middle of part 2 of that episode Equinox. Very specific. So here's the thing. They had already RSVP'd to come to your party before part 1 of Equinox, when things were still nice and on good terms. Before he tried to mutiny and then she relieved him of duty and threatened to throw him in the brig. Just, a couple of little details there. So they were going to show up. They had their costumes ready. So they do go ahead and go. They need to put in a good appearance. They do show up as Mina and Dracula from Dracula. But then they avoid each other the whole night. He sulks. She sulks. They both leave, however, with smudged makeup and bite marks on their necks, and Tom Paris swears he saw them making out in the bathroom twice. 8 times.
Where's the lie?
And then I was going to try and also say that somehow they were vampires the whole time, but I can't. It's 1:40 in the morning. So they were vampires the whole time. How do you think they would? Yeah, but there's a lot of hate making out in the bathroom. So
naturally,
yeah, it tracks. How do you think they would approach your party situation?
So, one thing we know about Janeway and Chakotay, besides the fact that they love each other and that they're horny for each other, is that there's a lot of miscommunication. So, they both, it's high stakes. At one point, Chakotay threatens a mutiny. At another point, she threatens to, airlock him. Tension is kind of high. So, right? So, maybe their couple's costume planning kind of gets lost in translation. The plan is that they're going to go as Carmen Sandiego and Where's Waldo. The ultimate really cute couple's costume. They both show up as Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah. Does Chakotay have the hat down around?
Oh, obviously.
Obviously.
Exact same. They replicated the exact same costume.
Same
size
color
4.
And everything. Size 4.
He's also a Dorito.
So clearly everything's a little too short on him and a little too tight.
Dorito.
A magic Dorito. They can wear a size 4. Wound blood is starting to itch, and I think you're frozen. You're back.
Oh, you disappeared from me.
Oh, you froze for me.
Oh, I sang a song, so hopefully we'll figure out how to edit Skype video. But if not, I was this close to going into my Felix Catus is his taxonomic nomenclature and endothermic quadruped carnivorous by nature. Your visual, olfactory, and auditory senses contribute to. Want to hear about my next contestant?
I do. Please tell me about your next contestant.
It's the spot wrap. It is. It's the OG anti-vaxxer. It's the macrovirus from Macrocosm. No preamble. Shows up to your party dressed as a sexy nurse.
What does he do once there?
Just immediately starts being the macrovirus. Like, tries to go into people's necks, but like he's wearing a cute little hat.
Wait, he's wearing a cute little hat on top of his already pointy head?
Yeah, but like the cute little nurse's hat.
Oh, I thought
Because
he was
he's a
wearing...
slutty nurse.
Does he wear stockings on his little tentacle leg?
And like the skirt is this short. I know that a lot of nurses are like, the slutty nurse costume is so degrading. I think it's hilarious because I want every single person who dresses as a sexy nurse to then come to work with me and see how practical that costume is. But like, it's also not supposed to be practical. It's supposed to, like, I'm a sexy nurse every day of my life because I'm just a nurse who's living my life in my 8 layers.
Yeah, it's like that song that Karen sings from Mean Girls that I can't remember the name of, but it's like
I give you sexy corn.
Yeah, she just wants to be sexy and have a good time because she's
this is modern feminism talking.
Something about the White House and also high heels.
Sexy Eleanor Roosevelt and sexy Rosa Parks.
She's like, sexy cancer. No. They're all like, no.
I can cure sex cancer.
Yes.
I did it.
I love it.
That's a masterpiece. That song is a masterpiece. I'll be like driving home and like I'll just have I give you sexy corn stuck in my head. So yeah, what is the macrovirus dress as, Adrian? I saw that eye roll.
I think that the macrovirus comes to your Halloween party late, obviously, and she dresses as a Craigslist couch. So she doesn't really have to do anything. She just like puts some sketchy stains on herself, like a little bit of mustard here, a little bit of ketchup here, maybe a little bit of like dog poop. And she's like, "Sup, bitches? I'm that couch you got off Craigslist that you shouldn't have, because it's gonna come back to bite you, or stab you in the case of the macrovirus." Also, her name is Susan.
There has to be a Craigslist couch that just has a knife pointing upwards embedded in it.
Yeah. Okay, but you laugh. We got a Craigslist couch when we were first married and we moved to LA and got a Craigslist couch. We literally picked it up like off the side of the road. It was really, really comfortable. I think at some point it had been a really nice couch. Like I think initially it was a really nice couch. It was like leather and like cushy and stuff. But I kicked it once because I was mad and something was sticking out from underneath it and it stabbed me in the toe and I had to go get a tetanus shot. My next contestant. It's everyone's
Damn your
favorite.
segue.
It's everyone's favorite Dr. Q Ghost Witch Chupacabra hybrid, Beverly Crusher. So, right off the bat, Beverly Crusher does not have time for your party. She barely has time to be the chief medical officer of the Starship Enterprise and also teach everyone tap dancing and also run like a theater program and also star in the plays. I don't know. So she's got a lot going on. She doesn't have time for your stupid Halloween party. However, she has an incredible costume that must be seen by the world. So she does come to your party. She's going to come for 10 minutes. She's going to make the rounds, and then she's going to say peace out. She does, in fact, show up as Sparks McGee. She borrowed one of Wesley's sweaters. I'm sorry, she borrowed one of Sparks McGee's sweaters. She does come in. She has the full cowboy hat. She does, in fact, show up in the Trans Am. I'm not sure, like, the logistics of, the party's not on the Enterprise. I forgot to mention that. I decided that just now. It's in a high school gym. So she drives the Trans Am
obviously
into the gym. And then she does, in fact, say cool phrases like, "I've got a course you can plot." So, yeah, she's there for 10 minutes. She smokes some things. She eats some cookies, a lot of cookies afterwards, and she leaves, in a trail of green smoke. So,
Completely valid.
what's your take on Beverly Crusher coming to your Halloween party?
So, contrarily, I hope that's the word. She is the life of the party. She's here to party. You're gonna have to kick her out at the end of the night.
Okay,
That also
tracks.
she is here. She comes alone. She is ready. She's bringing a whole bunch of snacks, and she eats all of them herself because absolutely she's high. Obviously, but she wants a very topical costume. She wants a costume that will have you talking. She also wants a costume that really showcases her own feminist opinions and ideals. So she dresses up as Orla Brady's character from that show where she keeps her wings in a box. You thought I wouldn't find a way to shoehorn this in.
When you're talking about you mean the listeners and not me, because I definitely knew that you were going to do this. In fact, I was already trying to figure out how to do it.
So that's not even do we do it on which one of us beats the other person?
The thing about this is, here's the thing. I don't even know if this is funny, but we can't stop now. We're in too deep at this point to this, bit. And
by our silence.
It's at this point, it's 80% of the podcast personality is wings in a box. Someone should send us an email at wheresbeverly@gmail.com where you rewrite the classic dick in a box. But eternal law.
It's my wings in a box. But yeah, so instead of starting a Patreon or something like that, we just do ransom. By our silence, we will stop talking. For $10 a month, we will stop making references to that show where Orla Brady puts her wings in a box.
Okay, alternatively, I hear this ransom, and I raise you. How do we get paid to continue talking about it?
To sponsor a show that was canceled 10 years ago?
Right. Or I'm thinking, does someone listening know Orla Brady's agent who can be you contact them, they pay us to continue talking about this, ad nauseum, right? Maybe the show will get a revival, and instead of Eternal Law, it'll be called something like, the Eternal Patriarchy has finally taken a half a step backwards. And now the show's just called Mrs. Sheringham. Spoiler alert, she still keeps her wings in a box. We still need to unpack this.
Well, but I want a whole show on that. I don't want a 3-minute clip where it's oh, the lady who brings us tea has wings in a box.
Right? And these giant scars on her back that were definitely CGI'd on. And then
oh, I thought it was just really bad VFX makeup. I have to rewatch it.
I just assumed it was CGI. And then that guy that plays the bad guy in
Outlander.
Thank you. Is the devil? Is he the devil?
Probably.
I don't know. And then
I didn't care enough to.
But there was he showed up. I don't know. There was a bicycle at some point. I don't.
Oh, are you supposed to think that he, spoiler alert for a show that no one cares about, he offed her husband, the husband died of an illness, but are you supposed to think, I thought the whole thing was he was that's a nice looking bow you got there. It's a shame if something were to happen to him.
Oh,
that's what I thought it was.
Oh, I just thought
that it was oh.
I just thought he was showing up later. I just thought he was showing up later, taunting her because he was you used to be God's main chick, and then you gave it all up. Sucks to be you, doesn't it?
I just remember that wasn't there a clip of them at a baseball game where it's she was telling you get narration of her being we had a great couple of months together, and the illustration of the great couple of months together is them at a rugby game or something, and I'm Orla Brady cannot she's an excellent actress. She cannot act like she likes sports. Just dead eyes.
I was going to say this is the most unhinged we've been, but it was definitely still the
No.
episode we recorded with Julia. By the way, I said that on Twitter. I was like, this is our most unhinged episode. Someone retweeted it and said, 2,407% correct. Which I feel like some people would buy as would take as like not a compliment, but I was just like,
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Remember when we were organized and we'd go in, like we'd do an episode and we'd go in order, and like if we like talked about a scene that came before or like after another scene, we'd like circle back and be like, oh no, we have to like go in order and talk about this. And now we talk about wings in boxes.
We show up covered in blood.
We will show up to your podcast covered in blood.
Please invite us. Please have us on. But these are special episodes. These are the What Would Your Star Trek Character Do episodes. And there is a structure, and the structure is chaos. And
as all fantasy football is.
I mean, clearly. But like when when season 3 of Picard airs, I'm sure we'll get back to, our
only S tier content here.
Right. And there better be knitwear in season 3. That's all I'm going to say about that today.
So many sweaters. And they have to be all on 7 of 9. 15 sweaters a episode.
Well, I mean, I was kind of hoping that like the ships could wear sweaters. Like, do they like get cold in space?
Like a little knitted cozy for your coffee.
Straight face.
I was here for it. I would have gone with this bit for forever.
Like a little cozy. Yeah, exactly. Like
eco-friendly.
Yeah, like they get cold, and so they need little sweaters.
You could crochet a little Starfleet insignia on it.
Oh, or maybe a really, really big one, actually. Which Star Trek character would crochet a cozy for the ship, and why is it Picard? I actually think it's Picard. Please
it would
discuss.
be Picard. It would be Picard. We have a lot of good ideas for upcoming fantasy football episodes. But if you guys also have some fantasy football episode ideas, please let us know. Where's Beverly at gmail.com.
And as evidenced by the ones that we've done, there's really no like too weird. The sky's the limit. If you name it, we'll probably do it. And also buy our silence. So on that note, where can the people find us?
Twitter at wheresbeverly, Instagram at wheresbev, and as always, send us fanfic recommendations, pictures of your cat. You know what I'm gonna say here, and also ask us about our PayPal information so you can buy our silence so we never talk about Eternal Law ever again. Where's Beverly at gmail.com.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, have you seen the show? What are your thoughts about that?
I know you have.
Wings in a box. Let's unpack that.
Somebody has seen this show.
There's
like
no
it has.
it's
the whole thing's on YouTube.
Guys.
It has views. People are watching this.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Like,
Hit
please.
us up.
We just want to know it because, like I said, at this point we can't stop. Like, it was just something funny we did a few times in the beginning, and now I'm
enraged. Like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, they wrote a great character and then made her serve tea to men. Like, I'm real mad.
Well, it is really stupid, right? Because, like, not only did she, like, give it all up for the D, which that's fine. You do you, make your own choices. But then it's like, you were this, like, top angel, I guess, and now now you're, like, the housekeeper. What the hell?
Like, she had main character energy, and she was in 5 minutes an episode, and, like, 75% of that time was her getting tea.
So, that is a little reminiscent of Picard.
But at least in Picard, she killed people.
Yeah.
And do we know that Laris didn't have her wings in a box? Do you think that Laris has wings that are in a box?
Oh my
Where's
gosh.
Beverly at gmail.com? Can you go to IMDb, search Orla Brady's filmography, watch everything except for that show where she's a vet and all of the promo photos are her posing with a horse? Because I can't find it anywhere. If you can find it, email it to me. And then watch everything on her filmography with the lens of, is this character that Orla Brady's playing, does she have wings that are in a box? But like, I'm thinking back to her filmography. That one episode that she did of Death in Paradise. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fringe, for sure.
Yeah. Mistresses.
She has like a bunch of wings. Like they grew back and she cut them off again. And she has multiple chests. Also, while we're at it, where's Beverly at gmail.com? Why is Mistresses shot like a Soviet era war drama? It's about ladies in like modern day England just like living their lives and making very poor life choices, but there's no Soviet era drama in it. Why is it shot like that?
I don't know. I think this is an excellent question. Yeah, wings in a box for sure.
Should we say goodbye? I know people are gonna want us to go on with this bit for hours by our silence.
Should we do an entire episode? No.
I'll do it.
Unless you pay us.
Unless you pay us. If you don't want us to release a whole episode on this, PayPal me $25. American, I'm not cheap.
What would the title of the episode be?
You know what this is about. Or like we frame it as like those YouTube apologies. It's like, we're sorry, but it's actually a 3-hour episode. About the wings in a box.
Okay, but in all honesty, the 5 views that show on YouTube is gonna get, where are royalty checks? Like, I feel like we have done so much promotion for this stupid show
that was canceled 10 years ago. It has 6 episodes.
So thanks for listening to Where's Beverly, and I guess maybe watching. Please come back next week where we will continue talking about Star Trek. But this was our Halloween special because today's Halloween. Happy Halloween. And
Happy Halloween!
Yeah, and we'll be back for real though, we'll be back to our sort of regularly scheduled episodes starting in November. And we're going to be starting off with a special guest spot from the Dora Sisters. So we're really excited to release that episode. So stay tuned for next time. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Bye.